Creation anxiety is a problem that I think a lot of people face before they start working on anything, not even just creative things, but new ideas, new projects. And the end result of these is that there is some new thing in the result, and it usually comes from nothing, which is why I'm calling it creation anxiety. The anxiety part is from looking into the future and choosing what you do or don't want it to be, what you think it could be, what you think it'll become. A huge problem with what you want to do is that it's influenced by what you see other people do. These other people may have had years or decades of experience, so when they teach you to cook, you see the final result and not the decades that go along with it. Motivational speakers, celebrities, you see where they're at now, and you don't know the work that was there. They tell you, but very few of them ever, especially the largest ones, they don't have a guide or journal that you can live with them and grow with them. It's nice to have knowledge of what you can expect, but creating something true to yourself, which I believe is the best form of it, is really a personal experience. So copying someone's step-by-step isn't the most effective way. I don't think it's the way you derive joy from what you're doing. Although if that's how you want to go about it, if that's how you are able to, if that's what you prefer, go for it. Nearly all of them do tell you the road that they took, whether it's a long form interview or kind of a summary from a question they're asked. Maybe they have a written biography. So their knowledge, experiences, and lessons aren't lost to time. And with them, you can still learn from them, even if they didn't share them as they were going on. The most important part is to start. I say that a lot, and almost everyone does, because if you don't start, there's nothing that can happen after. You have to write the first keystroke, the first word, to be able to write a book, a script, code, emails, websites, spreadsheets even, whatever work you're trying to accomplish. It's okay to pivot. It doesn't have to be perfect, whatever you make. It doesn't need to be amazing. You probably also have higher expectations than you would accept. Unless you know you're a perfectionist. I'm sorry for you, you'll have to unlearn that. And practice making shitty stuff. Give yourself 30 seconds to draw a picture and be okay with it. Put them up on a wall, put a bunch on a sheet of paper in 2x2 squares. So if you're lucky enough to want to create something and not share it online, or sharing it online isn't a standard that you have for yourself, that's amazing, because you can just start pushing yourself into your uncomfortable space and working on it without expectations of where it's going. If you are working on an online persona, it's only a little bit harder, but the first hurdle can sometimes feel insurmountable. And not many people think about this until they start, but it's actually the name of the persona you're going to use. I found my name, Sophus, months before I even started the channel. I was going to use it for different mediums first, but the main key is picking a name that you like, which can be a huge challenge. You might call it something related to your topic, something techy, something artsy, something about writing, something about your niche field. Narrowing it down is a huge challenge for many people. The good news is that if you drop the anxiety and you just go with whatever you choose first, then you can either change the name later and do a rebrand, maybe with the same content, maybe with a pivot to something different. But you can change the name. Even if you don't change the name, you can pivot, and whatever you end up doing once you start to grow will be associated with the name that you chose. It helps to have a fairly vague name. Mine is vague in its field or subject matter, but specific in its intent. I knew that Sophia meant wise or wisdom, and it's Greek derived, so I assumed that there would be a masculine version of it, which with a quick search I found was Sophist, and that's either skilled, clever, wise, learned, so that's how I ended up with mine. Then after I had the name and made the accounts, all I had to do was take the first step to start creating.
I hope that you now start your creative journey and have some idea of what your next step is.